What's up, everybody? We are back going live, spitting shit into the mic. Woo! And we're throwing heat. Today is every day, every day. Some people got a little heated last time we were on, talking about Mackenzie Dern's epic fail, 7+ pounds over the weight class limit. And then she went out there and pummeled her opponent. Possibly Miss Dern should listen to this video and that of her team so they can better understand the optimal way to lose weight. More specifically, we're discussing the optimal way to lose body fat. More specifically, we're going to focus on the optimal way to lose gender specific stubborn body fat. Now, there's been a heated debate for decades on which is best. Is it better to exercise while fasted, which means without eating a meal, or while fed, which means, anywhere between immediately before a workout and probably 3 hours before a workout? What's ideal? What's the best way to exercise for optimal fat loss? And Dr. Brad Schoenfeld had put out a tweet not long ago that I was tagged in by some of you guys, which is awesome, where research was done, I believe a meta analysis that did not find conclusive evidence as to whether or not fasted or fed was best. Essentially, it had surmised that both are about equal. And many people took that to mean that fasted is not good, that fasted is worse for some reason. And I didn't understand that. Now, what's weird is and Dr. Schoenfeld, who I respect, I think is awesome, he had highlighted the part that said, base essentially, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if I'll put the link down below because it was a tweet. He had essentially said, check out his Twitter page. He had essentially said, there highlighted the part that the study, the scientist had said that there was no clear distinction between fasted or fed. But the very next line that was not highlighted said, but this does not mean that what I just said above is actually true because not enough data has been collected to truly make a statement. Now, I'm paraphrasing. And I found that interesting in that a meta-analysis was done, and the findings of the meta-analysis was more that there's not enough evidence to draw an accurate conclusion. Keep that in mind. So now we're going to move away from that. But when we talk about fasted cardio, and when we talk about fasted cardio, we mean fasted cardio to the point of having zero insulin available. We want zero circulating insulin during our fasted cardio. During fed cardio means that there is insulin present in the bloodstream. And why does this matter? This matters because the absence of insulin allows a greater oxidation of stubborn fat cells. And this is the important part of our focus. The absence of insulin allows for the greater oxidation of stored body fat. The absence of insulin allows for a more efficient reduction in stored stubborn body fat, particularly gender specific body fat. And this has to do with the type of receptors that lock and unlock these fat cells. Insulin, the absence of insulin allows these stubborn fat cells to be more accessible to oxidization. Okay. Now, what this means is big if fasted and fed cardio loses the same amount of total body fat, which may or may not be true, and the meta-analysis confirms that may or may not be true. Let's say it's true. Let's say fasted and fed loses about the same amount of total body fat. Fasted cardio loses a greater amount of the stubborn, gender specific body fat, which is the body fat that we most desirably want to lose. The problem areas. The problem areas. That's the point. That's the point. Now, what is the difference in fasted and fed for these gender specific stubborn areas? Again, more research has to be done. Is it 1%? Is it 100%? I'm not here to tell you that. What I am here to tell you and to show you, and the scientific community agrees, fasted cardio does allow for the greater utilization of stubborn gender specific body fat than fueled cardio does, fed cardio. That's the point. That's one of the reasons we suggest applying LISS, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity, as one of the exercise modalities with which you use. Go for a walk, wake up, take a pee, wash your hands, step on the scale, track your weight, go for a little walk around your neighborhood, come home. Fasted, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. Worst case scenario, you're getting your cardio in, you're getting it done, and it will have the exact same benefit as fed cardio, right? So you're no worse off. Added benefit, this will preferentially target the stored area of body fat that you want to get rid of probably more than everything else. The donut area and the love handles for guys and the lower pec. Ladies, those outer thigh saddlebags and a little bit of that tricep upper back fat area. More gender specific stubborn body fat areas, once again, are preferentially targeted in the absence of insulin. That's what this is. It's in the absence of insulin. Insulin is the most powerful hormone in the human body. It has amazing benefits and really nasty negative repercussions. We just want to get that out of the way for a little while, because as soon as we get back from our walk, we're pretty much going to have insulin circulating through our body for pretty much the rest of the day. For most of us, once we start eating, insulin goes shooting through the bloodstream, and it's present for the most part in most people most of the day, with which you will also be encouraged to exercise as a part of our system. So we're getting that LISS, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity, aerobic activity performed earlier in the day. And then we're training at a higher output rate, more glycolytic activity, in which we're utilizing stored glycogen, resistance training, high intensity interval training, or even fed or semi-fed lower intensity aerobic activity. But once you miss that fasted window, you've missed the fasted window for the rest of the day. 3 hours, 5 hours, 9 hours. I've seen all different studies that do a pretty good job in showing what actually constitute fasted. The best concept that we have for the average layperson listening: go to bed, wake up. That's the most fasted most of us are going to be in the entire 24-hour period. That's the optimal time to take advantage of LISS, because the rest of the day, now we're going to have insulin present to some degree, some capacity, making it harder to unlock these stubborn areas of body fat. Now, to some of you who are guys, you're 13, 14, 20, 30, 40% body fat, gender specific stubborn body fat doesn't really matter as much out of the gate. But if you're getting to the point that now you can see your abs, you're getting to those mid-teen percent, you can see your top two abs, maybe, half of the second mid row. Now it's time to start focusing on that a little bit. You want to get ready for bikini season, bathing suit season, beach season, athletic performance? Well, then maybe now is time to start focusing a little more granularly on the micro level of fat loss, where we're having our LISS, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity, aerobic activity performed fasted, while also training throughout the day in other modalities, higher energy expenditure, greater use of glycogen, while fed, resistance training, once again, mixed martial arts training, even yoga. People think yoga is so slow and passive. Yoga is really hard. You're using glycogen, you're using stored carbohydrate essentially during yoga. Most yoga is challenging for a lot of people. And if you're doing it right, it's very challenging. Yoga's tough, man. walking. We're bipedal organisms. That's the way our body was designed, right? That's who we are as a species. That's what we should be doing. So the point of this video is to let you guys understand that there isn't better. And there's this, is it fed or fasted? What's best? What's best? And a lot of the pundits will point to that. And I'm not talking about Dr. Brett. I think he's awesome, brilliant, genius. He had just shown one study that had been put out. So I used that because other people tagged me, kind of creating a narrative. So Dr. Brad didn't do that. Other people did. He's brilliant. But with that study definitely, one could take a look at that study and say, oh, exactly. The meta-analysis clearly shows that there is no consensus at all. So I don't think the study really showed anything other than more data. More studies are actually needed to determine what works best. But that doesn't take the point that I'm making right now. It didn't take this into consideration. Low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity, aerobic activity performed while fasted in the absence of insulin has shown a much more efficient rate of the oxidization of stubborn gender-specific body fat. That's the point. So we keep that in our arsenal. We don't throw it out completely. Now, there's another lifestyle part of this, and that's something that isn't studied often by the scientists. What is the lifestyle aspect? The lifestyle aspect is those of us who wake up and move our body and get our blood flowing and allow our systems to switch on. When we talk about lists, we tell you to get outside. Don't do it on your treadmill. Don't drive to your gym. Walk out your front door and breathe the air. Stare at the blue sky. Walk in the grass. Go to the park. Immerse yourself in nature. This is a very humanizing aspect of what we're trying to accomplish here. So it's not just simple weight loss and simple targeted specific fat loss. It's not even about just sports performance. It's about human performance, about the lifestyle that we are living. It's about centering your mind. It's about improving cognitive function. It's about breathing clean, beautiful air, oxygenating your blood supply. That's a big part of this also. And most of us, we're busy. Once we start our day, we eat our breakfast, we put on our monkey suits, we get the kids off to school, we go to work, we work all day, and dot. We are just on that revolving rat wheel. Very difficult from that point forward for us to unplug from that day and find our center. This is another reason, a supportive reason why we suggest lists. The first, I don't want to talk to a single human before I get my hour of exercise in, my low intensity exercise in. I don't believe for most of us to train at high intensities while fasted first thing in the morning for a multitude of reasons I'll cover in another video. All of our data shows poor performance, poor output in that. Low intensity is ideal. That allows me personally to become me, for me to center in on me. My goals become so crisp in that day. My action steps are so clear. My vision, everything about my life is better when I get back from that walk. And that walk is better because I personally have a higher rate of blood pumping through my body that is not now in my digestive tract breaking down those foods. And we all know how that feels. Have an apple, have berries, great foods, have a donut or a bagel, crap foods. What happens? The blood goes to the digestive system. It diverts to the digestive system. It no longer starts doing its job, coursing through the body at its highest possible capacity. There's no need for that, in our opinion, for most people, most of the time. That does not mean some people, some of the time, will get benefit from a version of a fed cardio, even an early morning fed cardio, right? So there's no absolutes here. And that's what I'm talking to you guys about. I want you to understand that there are no absolutes, but there are basic concepts and principles that we group as a group, most of the people, most of the time. And when we educate, when we talk to most of the people, most of the time. So for most of you, like the vast majority of you, like the overwhelming population, will get overwhelmingly positive success from the vast majority of the concepts that we're giving to you. A small percentage of the population will get will have success following alternate routes for a small percentage of their time. What does that mean? 90% of your life should be pretty basic. You should always be about 90% of your ultimate goal. 10% of the time we peak out for an MMA competition, for a powerlifting meet, for a Spartan race, for bikini season or spring break or fit into the wedding dress or pregnancy or whatever that is. That's where we peak out and we make some other changes to tweak. Maybe you're getting ready for a physique competition. Maybe it is a little bit better to throw a whey protein isolate into your fasted, your early morning fasted, because now you're trying to get these amino acids available in your bloodstream to sustain muscle tissue. Your goal now is the preservation of muscle tissue more so than it is the ultimately efficient oxidization of that gender specific body fat. Maybe you're already lean enough, you're down, but you can't afford to break down that muscle tissue. We work with physique athletes. That becomes a big thing. Preservation of muscle tissue also. And then fed cardio does slowly, for a short period of time, become more opportune, more appropriate for a certain percentage of the population for a small percentage of the time. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So this information that we put out, the vast majority of the population, the vast majority of the time will get great returns from these concepts. I'll also be very niche in some of the conversations that we have with you guys too, and some of the information that we provide to you guys, because we work with high-level athletes, we work with Olympic athletes, we work with professional world champion athletes, we work with weekend warrior or collegiate athletes, which are basically professional athletes, unpaid professional athletes. We work with that segment of the population, which are extremely niche, and they do resort to very niche protocols to bring out the absolute best. But 90% of their time is spent doing what we talk about in this global paradigm, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So to wrap this up, and then I'm going to answer some questions for you guys really quick. Fasted or fed cardio, what's best? They're both awesome, but you should be doing both. You should be doing both. Do not only do fed cardio, just like we've said from day one, don't only do fasted. We should be exercising in various modalities, right? Low intensity, steady state aerobic activity. Love it. Ideal. Awesome. High intensity interval training while fed, not within 30 minutes because you might lose your lunch, 60, 90 minutes or so, depending on tolerance. Awesome. Love it. Glycolytic activity, strength training, kettlebell work. Awesome. Great. You're an office worker, taking the stairs to and from your bathroom breaks, parking your car the farthest spot, in your parking lot. Awesome. Doing some body weight squats at your desk every for 10 minutes every hour. Awesome. These are the things also, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand as I talk here. So let me try and wrap this up for you guys, answer some questions, and then I got to roll. Steve-O, what's up, coach? Having some chicken with the breakfast bowl. Bam, getting it on. Notification squad is in the house. And that's why those of you who are here right now, make sure you subscribe to this channel, click on the notification so you know when I'm coming live, because then I jump in and I try and answer every single question. Also, leave a thumbs up so I know you enjoy the video, you like what I'm talking about, or you at the very least appreciate me being here and give you the time. Karen Sweeney, yo, Karen, what's up, girl? Karen Sawney, excuse me. Kabir Bassnet. Hello, coach. It's been really long and still waiting. 8 exercises that determine true athletic base. I will get on that video for you. I am sorry, my friend. William, hello, sir. When I go to do my fasted cardio first thing in the morning, could I have a black coffee before, or best to just stick to a glass of water? I am going to say both. Now, why do I say both? Studies do show that coffee or espresso can elicit an insulin response. This insulin response, while reading the studies that we've seen, is negligible when it comes to the oxidation of stored body fat, and specifically the gender stored body fat. What it appears is the inclusion of caffeine and even a yohimbine HCl, which I do not endorse you guys take, but the studies do point to it, has a very solid fat burning combination. That being said, we keep the yohimbine HCl away. We will have some sort of caffeine if that is well tolerated. What my suggestion is is get an espresso and make it super rich and super dark so we can dramatically minimize that volume of it, and we would dilute it, with 16 ounces of room temperature water. Unfortunately, most of the caffeine pills I've seen do have some sort of sweetener in them, which is weird, and they have like sucralose. Stupid, right? And then they have all sorts of synthetic chemicals and preservatives and coloring. Like, why is my pill yellow? I don't want to be consuming yellow number death or whatever the hell it is. So, what my answer is, you don't need any. You don't need any. But what we've seen science, whether it's general supported science, agreed upon consensus, or what we've tracked anecdotally through the thousands of clients who've come through our system, a little shot of espresso has really a good benefit. Kabir, any chance of UFC Fit 2.0? Keep up with the fitness and life wisdom. Yes, well, it's not UFC Fit 2.0, but I, Mike Dolce, and the Dolce Diet and Fitness, we are coming out with a follow-up product to what I created for the UFC Fit system. So UFC Fit is the only diet and exercise program ever endorsed by the UFC, and I created that. Every word, every set, every rep was mine. It came out of this brain of mine. Beautiful. Contract has run out. Awesome. UFC Fit is one of the top selling fitness programs ever developed. We will be following it up here out of the Dolce Diet, and you'll know more about that soon. One of the reasons I'm following my 3 weeks to shredded program right now is so I can get in amazing shape, so I can be screen worthy. And those of you who don't know, I am down 15.6 pounds in 10 days on 3 weeks to shredded. 3 weeks to shredded is the most successful health and fitness program, the most successful weight loss program, the most successful healthy weight cutting program ever devised. I can say that because we have 20 plus years of experience, 20 plus years of data with a 100% success ratio while working with the world's greatest athletes. You can go to thedolcediet.com right now and join the online membership program. Follow the exact same program I'm following right now. I am down 15.6 pounds in the first 10 days. I lost 14 pounds to the dot in the first 7 days. My goal is to lose 21 pounds in 21 days, and it looks like I'm going to exceed that goal should I choose to do so. Again, go to thedolcediet.com. Use my promo code NEWME, NEWME. You will save 20% off within 30 minutes of this video posting. And then unfortunately, we have to pull the code because the program sells itself. This is just my benefit to you guys in the notification squad. If you check out live, I always give you something awesome and better than everybody else gets because you are awesome and you're here and you're a part of the team. Again, that's at thedolcediet.com. Tim Davis finally made a live stream and you just got the new me bonus code. Tim Davis, cool, brother. Greg Parr, what type of blood work do you ask for? I want to know what my deficiencies are. Greg, we're actually doing another video on that right now. It's a much more complex topic. It needs about 15 solid minutes. What we suggest when you go to your doctor, we suggest everybody go to your doctor and get a blood test, get a comprehensive blood test. What we call is a wellness panel. That terminology seems to be universal amongst all medical practitioners. Doctor, I would like a wellness test done. I want to get all the blood work done right now that my insurance will cover. Talk to your doctor about it first, and then I will give you a more in-depth list of what we want to look for specifically. Everybody needs to get their blood work done every 3 months, no less than every 6 months. Come on now, guys and girls. Most people know more of what's happening in their car than they do in their own human body. Every 3 months, guys and girls, please. Personally being more of a runner than a lifter. That's awesome. But as a runner, you also need to lift. You need to lift to build strength and to prevent muscular imbalances, which you are creating as a runner, just based upon your gait and your stride and your limb length and your insertions. Naturally, even just your gait, your foot length. The length of your foot strike will matter. You will build imbalances, muscular imbalances that will slow you down and possibly lead an injury. That's why specific targeted strength training is mandatory. Kurt Rowland says fasted cardio, I feel better throughout the day. And anecdotally, and I haven't seen a study on that, most people who perform fasted cardio first thing in the morning report feeling better throughout the day. That's what we get. The overwhelming mass of our clients who do the fasted cardio say they all feel better. They all feel energized. They all have clearer cognitive output. They can like more adequately tolerate the stresses in their day. And that goes back to what I said earlier. It's not just about fat loss or weight loss. That's nice. That's superficial cosmetic. How do you feel? How are you functioning? How do you feel? That's the most important thing as a human. How do you feel? I don't care if you got ripped, shredded abs, super hot and sexy. If you feel like shit, your life is shit. We just want you to feel good. The getting lean and all that stuff, that's easy. That's easy. I want you to feel good. That's what this is about. Um, hey, healthy. How many calories do you eat at 3 days to shredded? So my 3 week, it's 3 weeks to shredded, although we do have a 3 day to shredded mini shred program. So I started my program at 2,600 calories. I've been averaging anywhere between 24 and 2,800 calories because each day kind of waves up and down. Now it waves up and down, kind of like the stock market where it kind of ticks down a little bit, but we always have higher days. Right. So we have higher days and modified low days, never rock bottom low. No program, no person on 3 weeks of shredded goes below 1,500 calories per day. That's our floor until maybe the last day of the system. If you opt to do the dry out method, which is getting ready for weight class dominated sport, then we might make a few little changes here and there inside your system. But 3 weeks of shredded, it is amazing, amazing, amazing. I feel fucking amazing. Down 15.6 pounds, and I am crushing my training partners. I'm getting stronger every workout, and my conditioning has gone up every workout. I should start filming my training partners getting crushed. I'm literally waiting for them to get through their station because I'm on their heels now, crushing and pushing them through. It's awesome. And I'm 42 years old, and I have two toddlers at home, and I run my own business and work 12-hour days. Like I got every excuse in the world to not feel good. Every excuse in the world. I feel fucking awesome, and it's easy. It's easy. My meals are perfect. It's planned out. I see every meal, every ingredient is listed for me. My grocery list is listed for me. Everything is listed for me, ready to go on my phone, on my tablet, on my laptop. And the meal prep time is so fast. 15 minutes a day maximum to have my entire day's worth of food ready. And it's delicious. It's delicious. I love it. Angelo, would you recommend to reverse diet from 3 weeks to shredded or 12 weeks approach into dropping more body fat? Currently 200 pounds. Want to drop to 175 at 10 to 12. Want to fill the shirt? Yes, we call it round one, round two, round three. Right now, I'm in the middle of round one of 3 weeks to shredded. I'm on day 10, just started day 11, I think, 10 or 11. So I'm halfway through the 21-day program. When I finish this program, I will reset right back to day one, and I'll go back through another 21 days of 3 weeks to shredded. That will be round two. Typically what happens, we built it this way because we're geniuses. As you go through from day one to 21, you reset back to day one. What does this do? What does this do? It automatically reverse diets you right back to the beginning with the same basic foods and the same basic system with the same basic preparation method, just a little bit more. And then we wave it down and a little bit more. And then we wave it back down. What does that do? It allows your metabolism and digestive system to adequately evolve with your changing needs. So typically most people during round two and round three of 3 weeks to shredded, they gain muscle tissue. They gain muscle because we hit the refeed phase, which is the first 2/3 of the system, essentially, before we hit that last little peak at the very end where we dry you out. That drying you out allows you to reverse diet and refeed back in the first phase again, adding more lean muscle tissue while continuing to drop body fat. So now we're adding a pound or two of muscle while losing a pound or two more of body fat. What that does visually, you look completely different. It looks like you've lost 10 pounds when you've lost two, because ultimately it doesn't matter what you weigh. In the first phase of 3 weeks to shredded, people see the dramatic weight loss. The second round of 3 weeks to shredded, they see a dramatic change to their physique and from the physical, like the visual view, but also in their performance. We've never had anybody report a drop off in performance because 3 weeks to shredded was designed for athletes getting ready to perform. 3 weeks to shredded was designed to get athletes ready to compete in weight class dominated sport, combat sports, fighting, wrestling, boxing, judo, jujitsu, the most challenging of all athletic endeavors is fighting. Is a 5-round MMA fight, right? Every muscle type, every muscle fiber, every energy system is being taxed 100%. That's what 3 weeks to shredded was built for, to get people built all the way through while losing weight, but not losing performance. In fact, increasing performance. So as weight starts to drop off, performance starts to increase as we go through. So that's all at thedolcediet.com. You can join up for your own 4-week or 12-week personalized program, completely personalized to you, and use my promo code NEWME, NEWME, because it's new you. New me, you will save 20% right now and for 30 minutes after I post this video. And then I have to pull the code because it's just too many. My accountant's about to fire me. Um, William or Willem. Let me see. Wow. Lots of questions. I got to start running through this stuff for you guys so I can answer. I live in San Antonio and it's getting hot when doing the morning walk. You can't get it done without sweating a lot. Does that defeat the purpose? No, I sweat sitting on the toilet. I'm sweating right now. I'm glowing. It's air conditioning in here. Sweating is a good thing. That means hopefully you're hydrated. I'm super hydrated. I drink about 2 gallons of water per day. That's about 8 liters per day. What does LIST stand for? Low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. Omar, I've been waking up at 4 a.m. to get my workout in for the day since it's difficult to do after work. Hoorah, my brother. Hoorah. Good for you, man. That's respect right there. Respect. I understand that grind, homie. Putting goals before everything. Good for you. A lot of people can learn from you. And your example here, my brother. Good for you. Big things are coming for you, man. Nobody can stop you. Demolition Athletics. Hey, Dolce, it's Peter. Ox, what's up, my brother? Started my ring announcing career in 2017. I'm going to hit you up for a follow back on Twitter. Done deal, Ox. Keep me posted, my man. I love it. Hey, Mike, how many beats per minute is low intensity? For the average person, we would say anywhere between 90 and 110 beats per minute. Typically, getting your resting heart rate, which is you taking your heart rate while sleeping, basically before you get out of bed, if you can track your resting heart rate, most people will be somewhere typically between the mid 50s and the mid 70s. So we want to get you up at least 20 beats above that, at least as like a bare minimum. And just waking up and walking around your house typically gets you up to about that. But ideally, we've seen most people have maximum success between 90 and 110 beats per minute. Why do we set 110 as the ceiling? Because once you start getting a little higher than 110, odds are you're creeping towards the use of glucose. And all of a sudden that changes the concept of just trying to primarily perform an aerobic activity, in which we switch over and we become a semi anaerobic activity where we start to express stored glycogen as glucose for energy. We want to avoid that if we can. Chris Gamble, glad to see you back at what you do best, mate. Fasted weights, same throughout the process. Fasted weights. What do you mean, Chris? Fasted weights, like fasted weightlifting, I'm not a fan of unless you're trying to squeeze out glycogen for to reload for a physique competition. Not if that's what you mean, Chris. I'm sorry if I don't quite understand what your question is. Fasted weights, same thought process. I want to be fed. So that's why we have all of our athletes, all of our clients perform their strength training, their resistance training after at least 2 meals. Ideally, for the average person, between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. seems to be the ideal time for a strength session, because you still have high cognitive output. The woes of the day have not torn you down just yet. Most people get between 3 and 5 p.m. and it's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess I'll go to the gym. I just want to go home and fucking have dinner and just play with my kids for an hour before I got to do this shit again. If we can get our workouts in a little earlier in the day, much better. I get it that you can't. But also, if you do it too early before you've been fed, typically you'll see your numbers drop. Your intensity will drop. That means we're not really utilizing the concept of progressive overload. So you got to, it's a little difficult. But again, a little later in the day is much better. Omar, please make the shopping list accessible a couple of days prior to the start of the week. Done deal. The tech team's already working on that, Omar. Thank you, my friend. Chris, I do 30 minutes of a hit, then one body part each day. Chris, I would at the very least flip that. I would hit my body part first so you can maximally stimulate that body part Progressive overload, once again, that is the governing law of all physical adaptation, progressive overload. And then I would finish with the hit afterwards, unless you're training for some sort of hit specific sport. Kurt Angle, very famously, used to perform all of his conditioning work before his wrestling practices because he was a small heavyweight and he knew he would be fatigued and he needed to be in a very fatigued state in his mind in order to be a very fatigued state. Then he would go and practice and drill and drill and drill and drill and drill because he knew that the other opponents, that his opponents would be bigger and stronger than him. And he would have to get used to performing technically proficient moves as opposed to, just being able to power through everybody. So that just keep that in mind also. What's up, Dolce? What's up, Jose? 7 days in and 7 pounds down. Boom. We can do better, though. My man, can we upgrade from 3 weeks of shredded to the 12-week program? I wish I could have bought the 12-week program to keep it going. Chris, Jose, absolutely. Shoot Bob an email, support@thedolcediet.com. Bob runs our customer service team, support@thedolcediet.com. Tell him you spoke with me here, and he will let you know what needs to be done in order to switch you up. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jose is down 7 pounds in 7 days following the 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com. Exactly what I said. The program is designed to lose 1 pound per day for 21 days on average. You might not lose 1 pound every single calendar day, but typically you lose 2 or 3 pounds, kind of slows down, another pound or two, slows down, then 3 or 4 pounds, and slows down as he dips all the way down. Jose, once again, proving us right. I love it, brother. Keep me posted on your progress. Jeff Blevins, can I trade the orange for kiwi on the Living Lean program? Yes, you can. That is an adequate exchange right there. Good. I had another client oddly ask me that same exact question. And he lives over in the Middle East, which is kind of cool. Ooh. How about Jose also says, by the way, I dropped 7 pounds in 1 week coming off keto. What does that mean? That means Jose was following a zero carbohydrate ketogenic diet, stopped that, started eating carbohydrates again following the Dolce diet, and lost 7 pounds in a week. It shows you how fucked up those exclusionary diet programs really are. And you can eat carbs, real carbs, earth-grown nutrients, and lose weight. My breakfast bowl on 3 weeks to shredded is almost 100 grams of carbs all by itself. And I'm down 15.6 pounds in 10 days. What? I love that, man. I love it. What's the promo code again, Mike? Lederhosen. The promo code is NEWME, NEWME. That will save you 20% right now at thedolcediet.com. But again, I have to pull that code within 30 minutes of posting this video, so it'll probably be gone by 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. Which Rogue squat rack should I buy for a home garage gym? Zach, I forget the name. I got 2 great Rogues out there. I have 3. I have 1 in storage right now. Just for we added more floor space. I forget the name of this exact rack, but if you go to my Instagram story, I actually did a quick gym tour in my Instagram story today. So if you look at my Instagram story, you'll actually see the exact squat racks we use here. And man, we've had over 1,000 pounds doing rack pulls and other exercises. They're awesome. These racks are awesome. We got TRX band. We got everything hooked up to these racks, and they're not even bolted into the floor like other facilities. We just use the weight trees to keep the racks down on the ground. They're awesome, and it was pretty inexpensive. I mean, you're still paying Rogue prices, but pretty inexpensive all in all. Seth, what's up, Seth? Good to see you, my man. Working on time coming to Vegas for this fall. Do you have a beginner level classes at your gym? Seth, absolutely. All of our classes, they're instructor led. You will walk into our class and most likely you will train next to a professional athlete, a lady who's in the middle of pregnancy, a senior citizen upwards of 60, and maybe some, super smoking hot cocktail server, male or female. A wide range of bodies are in our facility. And why do I say that? I say that because it's instructor-led training. Everybody who walks in here checks their ego at the door and they train like an athlete. If we say it's body weight squats, the way you perform body weight squats is different from everybody else in the room. So as long as you're performing to the best of your ability with qualified coaches, hands-on in real time, teaching you exactly the way that your body's meant to work, that's what you get here. That's why we keep our class sizes very small. 6 people is ideal. We have 2 additional spots for drop-ins, never more than 8 people in a single class. That allows high attention from our coaches. Mark Ogden. Have you worked with Kevin James before? I have worked with Kevin James, and yes, I'm a fan of Mr. Kevin James. I'm a friend of Mr. Kevin James, and I am a professional coach for Mr. Kevin James, who's an amazing human being. Mackenzie, I can't repeat that. That's not very nice. Let's not be mean. Let's not say mean things. Let's just speak factually. But she did miss weight by quite a lot, and that was not very professional of her. Luke Shaw, should you do lists in the morning and hit session later in the day? Yes, that would be ideal. DH, when is HGH produced in our body, and where and what are its benefits? Typically, HGH is produced maximally while we're sleeping, typically within 90 minutes or so of falling asleep. We appear to have our highest pulse of growth hormone. Now, here's a little known fact. Insulin actually reduces or dulls or erodes or diminishes that pulse of growth hormone. So the more insulin we have running around our body, the less growth hormone will actually be pulsed and produced, which is why one of our tenets is to try and eat 3 hours before you go to bed so that insulin can dissipate and clear before we assume to have that biggest pulse of growth hormone, which is within 90 minutes or so of falling asleep into that deep sleep. Dwayne, I was on a ridiculous low calorie diet from another trainer before starting 3 weeks to shredded. Should I have reverse dieted before starting your protocol? No, thank you. Dwayne, without knowing you personally, it's hard for me to say, but I will say 3 weeks to shredded will be awesome for you. 3 weeks of shredded is absolutely amazing. You can see we have such a wide variety of earth grown food sources. There is no deficiencies. There's no exclusionary tactics. It is not a low calorie or a calorie deficient diet. You're probably shocked at how much food is there. What the beauty is, we're feeding you at a micro level. We're ensuring micronutrient density is fulfilled. So now your body is actually operating the way it was intended to as we start to wave you down through the 21-day process. We have a unique understanding of the way different nutrients work and how it affects fat loss and weight loss and water loss, because all of that fix, even reducing impacted digestive matter. Dennis, bro, I am so sorry, my man. I am so sorry. I will answer that email today when I get off. I know I said that last time. I am so sorry, Dennis. I got you. I got you. Would you recommend mixing up certain days of fasted state lists and other days of doing it? Yeah. Yeah. What we say is 3 to 7 days of lists should be mandatory for any human being. I don't care what you do, human. You're a human. Go walk. Go walk, human. Please go walk. Best time to walk first thing in the morning when the day is still calm. It's a beautiful time. It's like the Goldilocks time to walk. If it's hot, it's not too hot where you are getting in the summer season here North America, like that, like daybreak time when the sun is just coming up. Oh, and birds start to sing and squirrels start to forage, and wherever you are, it's such a beautiful time. That's when I want you to get out. But yeah, throw in some hit a couple days a week also, if that suits you. If that suits you. I like walking. Me too, Sal. What's up from London? John's Law. What's up, London? Omar, should I eat my oatmeal first thing in the morning, first thing before my workout in the morning? I would try and get that in beforehand. And what we try and do, if you have to train with resistance, get up a little bit earlier, blend your breakfast bowl, drink it as a smoothie. It will digest easier and faster that way. That'll be better. So we don't want to have that digestive matter sitting in our stomach, pulling all that blood. We don't want to do that. I got a 1% power. So let me finish this. Check out Bolt Fitness in Houston. I appreciate that. Mike, do you have day rates at your gym? Of course we do. Just shoot us an email, Desert Gains support at thedolcediet.com, and we will hook you up. Seth, you the man, Dolce, down to resting 4-pack. Hell yeah, and still burning. Boom. I am proud of you, Seth. Crush it. Does list cardio improve insulin sensitivity? That's what all the data shows. But even 10-minute walks throughout the day improves insulin sensitivity. Very, very exciting science out there. Guys and girls, thank you all for being here. Remember, leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. Let me plug in before it dies on us, before I say my formal goodbyes. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you appreciate the content. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Remember to subscribe to this video, subscribe to this channel. Click on notifications so you know when I come on here live. I will answer your questions like I do with everybody else. Also, you can go to thedolcediet.com right now and you can join the 3 weeks to shredded or living lean 4-week or 12-week online personalized program, the most successful weight loss program ever devised. It is at thedolcediet.com, promo code new me, and save 20% right now for the next 30 minutes, and then poof, we pull it again. I will be back tomorrow, guys and girls. Thank you all. And until next time, boom, boom.